Well, that was a movie.
We're good at what we do.
Charlie!
Get away!
Are you upset?
I'm leaving.
What's wrong with you?
You hit me in public, Charlie.
You slapped me back, Raven. So go ahead, hit me. What is your goddamn problem?
Hello there everybody, it's me the Canadian Movie Buff with a review of The Sisters Brothers. Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly play Charlie and Eli's sisters, a pair of bounty hunter brothers who are going after a chemist and a rogue detective during the California Gold Rush. I figured I'd branch out and see a non-mainstream movie just to make myself a bit of a more well-rounded reviewer. I did not see the trailer for this movie. In fact, I only came to know about this movie's existence through a poster I saw at the theater. So at this point I was pretty much going in blind. Although it's an amazing showcase of the cast acting talents, it's one of those movies where it thinks that performance alone will make it a critic's darling. I honestly can't stress enough the talent that's behind this movie. We have Joaquin Phoenix, who, as always, gives it his all when he's in the role. There's never a moment where he's not Charlie's sisters. He absolutely loses himself in the role and giving us a fully fleshed out character. Jake Gyllenhaal is reunited with his Nightcrawler co-star Riz Ahmed, who you may have noticed is Carlton Drake in Venom. Funny enough, Gyllenhaal is also playing a Marvel villain, Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home. Ahmed plays a chemist named Herman Kermit Warm, and Gyllenhaal plays a detective named John Morris. The two of them share a lot of screen time together, and they have a lot of good dramatic chemistry. There was also a lot of authenticity that was put into this movie, whether it was the gun sparks, to the lack of deep south cowboy accents, or the fact that they made a joke about how indoor plumbing was so rare back in the day. As much as I liked all the performances, John C. Reilly had the weakest of the bunch. I mean, he does a solid job. At worst, he's John C. Reilly in a cowboy hat, and at best, he's outstanding. But any moment where he's not Eli's sisters really took me out of it, even if it's for a brief moment. As I mentioned earlier, I went to see this movie because I wanted to expand my horizons and see more stuff than just every blockbuster known to man. But reviewing the more niche films does come at a cost. Let me break down the opening 10-15 minutes. There's a gunfight, a barn burning, and they go on to their next job. Not a bad start, but the pacing gets really slow and dull, and it feels like a big shift in terms of how the movie opens. The B-plot involved Kermit Warm and Morris basically going from place to place in, I guess, what you call flashbacks. What happens is that there's a scene with them, then you have the Sisters Brothers coming through, and then some extra telling them how many days it's been since Kermit Warm and Morris have passed. That leads into the next problem, the editing. While it is fairly consistent, and there are a few cool shots here and there, it often cuts between scenes with very little indication of how much time has passed. I was asking myself, what happened and what's going on? Quite a lot throughout this movie, which is a fairly good indication of how it handles its plot. Speaking of which, there's no real climax of the movie, just a conflict followed by an even bigger conflict, a resolution, and then it's over. It didn't feel as if there was a villain or any major threat. At least none that felt like they mattered to the story. It also got difficult to tell what the film was going for. Is it a story about brothers, a chase movie, a road trip drama? You're never sure. I was willing to give the Sisters Brothers a chance. Partly because I wanted to see something different, partly because westerns are so rare these days, and partly to see if a movie that I've basically heard nothing about could win me over just by going in with no previous knowledge, no trailer, no nothing, just the movie on its own merit. It's not the next western classic or anything, but it's sure to find itself a niche audience. I could see film school students watching this movie 10 years from now and trying to find its central theme. If any of those students are watching this in the future, then good luck. There's some good acting and the odd visual here and there does stand out, but other than that, it's a slow and sometimes confusing movie that's obviously trying to get awards attention. It may be interesting for you, but not so much for me. You can sit back and watch the Sisters Brothers ride off into the sunset on Netflix. Alright, that's my review of the Sisters Brothers. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Leave your answer by commenting down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're new. And as always, this is the Canadian Movie Buff saying I hope you had a fantastic weekend at the movies. See ya!